Hello everybody and welcome to Tiger Tells The Lost Stories, the place you'll find stories and fanfictions written and read to you by your host, me, Tiger. All the stories on this channel are in the first person perspective. Let's dive into my Marvel and DC fanfiction universe, a universe where I have combined Marvel and DC into one combined universe with multiple ongoing storylines all happening collectively on Tiger Tales and Tiger Tales The Lost Stories channels. On both channels you'll find playlists where you can find all the stories in chronicle order. Today we're diving back into our story with Miles Morales. Mr. Pocket, the man who seems to be a big influencer on the happening of Union Day, the event that crossed over both universes and which molded both of them into one, he gave Miles Morales the task to go around the new multiverse which formed after Union Day and start collecting heroes into one team, kind of similar like the Avengers or Justice League, but in the last chapter, Miles met a different version of himself, who instead of getting tutelage under Spider-Man after being bit by the spider, he got tutelage from Captain America and called himself the American Spider. Turns out, though, Reverse Flash is deleting universes, and the American Spider universe is no more. The American Spider now is residing in our main universe. That being said, though, let's dive in with our new chapter. Let's dive in with The Fragments of Guilt, Journey of Miles Morales. Chapter 2, False Hope. I stood in front of the door. The other Miles was inside. I had not come out for at least 36 hours. My knuckles hovered before the door, waiting for my push to make contact and to startle him with my knock. I decided against it and headed back to my room. I got dressed into my Spidey suit and loaded a multiversal capsule. I shot a rainbow web out of my window, jumped out of my window, and zipped my way through the portal. I entered a new universe. A new Earth. Everything was a stone shade of grey or brown. It seemed like a normal city with a slight tinge to it. I landed on the ground watching people walk past me. Someone nudged me as they showed past and turned back around. "I am so sorry, pardon me," the man said. No worries," I replied. "May Adam bless you," the man said, then he carried on walking. "Adam bless me?" I said, confused. I looked up at the overtowering skyscrapers and saw advertising boards all over, and they all had images of a man dressed like a Roman. He stood like a man who was being worshipped. I looked at it. The words said, "May Adam bless you." Suddenly, my spider sense started tingling. I felt uncomfortable looking at this Adam. My spider sense increased. It was warning me of some danger. I looked over at two children who were praying at a poster of Adam. I walked up to them and knelt down to their level. "Hey guys, who is this man?" I asked, pointing at the poster. "He is Adam, our Lord and Saviour. He protects us and keeps us safe," one child replied. "Okay," I muttered, as that response was not helpful. "Who are you? Why are you dressed like that?" the other kid asked me. "I'm Spider-Man." "Seriously, you don't know who I am?" "I'm a superhero," I stated. "Sorry, mister, I don't know what that is." Both kids chuckled. "Hey, where can I find this Adam?" I asked them. "On the other side of town in the cathedral. You can't miss it," both kids said as they skipped off. I shot a web and pulled myself into the air and started swinging through the city. I swung over the street, seeing more people praying to Adam's posters and singing to his name. My spider sense was going crazy. I swung through the city till I saw the cathedral. I zipped through the garden and landed in the entrance. I walked through the cathedral and found a line of people waiting to talk to the man that sat on a throne. I turned invisible so no one could see me. I crept up past the line of individuals and knelt down close by the throne. "Please, Adam, our poor Penny is ill. Will you do something?" one elderly man pleaded. "Of course. If you spread the word of Adam, Adam will spread his love," Adam called out. "Yes, of course," the man said with a bow. Adam touched the small crown that sat on his head and it started glowing. "My will is done. Young Penny will be well," Adam cheered. Everyone clapped and cheered, and the man ran off to find out if the young Penny woman was better. I looked at Adam, who slowly turned his head to look directly at me. "You're not one of mine. All the heroes died." "You shouldn't be here!" Adam screamed. I then turned myself visible. I stood up and faced Adam. "How did you know I was even here?" I asked. "That does not matter," Adam barked. "Who are you?" I asked him. "Shut up!" Adam pleaded in rage. I turned around to see everyone that was just stood there was now staring at me. No one blinked. I couldn't see anyone breathe. Adam did something behind me. My spider sense rang like a bullet train in my brain. I jumped up and flipped over a blast of red energy which flew under me and hit the wall across the room. I turned around to see Adam stood with a ball of energy in his hand. He threw one at me again. This time I ducked down and the blast flew over my head. I shot several web balls at the man, but he waved his hand and the concrete slabs that made the floor before him raised out of the ground and floated before him, deflecting the attacks. Then the slabs flew at me. I jumped over and attached myself onto the wall, dodging the attacks. I looked at the line of people, but they were gone. I was confused. I never heard anyone leave or running away or scream in panic. I jumped off the wall and landed in the middle of the room. Adam waved his hand and the chandelier above us broke off the ceiling and fell down towards me. I shot my web up at the ceiling and I pulled myself up into the air. I soared past the falling chandelier. I shot 2 webs at the chandelier and it stopped in midair. I pulled it with all my might and strength and the chandelier spun around me, and then I let go of the web as the chandelier flew at Adam. The chandelier crashed into the wall, the throne crumbling under it, the wall crackling and crumbling under the impact. I landed on the ground, my spider sense still thumping inside my skull. I was then grabbed on the shoulder and pulled. I was punched in the stomach, then the face. I was then thrown across the room and I crashed on the ground. I stood and saw Adam, rage visibly decorating his face. I raised his hands into the air and I started floating. I then was thrown out of the cathedral and I flew over the gardens. I shot 2 webs which broke my momentum. I landed on the ground safely and Adam strolled out of the cathedral. Your entrance into this universe has ruined everything. I had everything set and it was perfect, Adam yelled out. I looked at Adam and my attention turned to his crown. The red stone in his crown, it looked rather familiar. And then it hit me. It was the reality stone, one of the 6 infinity stones. This must have been the one from this universe. Then I looked around my surroundings. I noticed that every single person was gone. Beforehand, there was groups of singers, people praying and cheering Adam's name, and now there was nothing. Adam had made everyone, possibly everything. The stone in your crown. That's the reality stone, right? I called out. You're smart, Adam chuckled. There is one in my universe as well, I replied. You should have not come here, Adam barked. I didn't mean to infringe. I didn't have a decision where I turn up, I sighed. A multiversal traveller, huh? Adam growled. Adam, the stone, it's meddling with your mind. Your emotions, your thoughts, are being weaponized, I tried to explain. No, you need to leave me to my reality, Adam roared. Then he raised his hands up and clapped, and suddenly 2 buses appeared out of nowhere on each side of me, and both came rushing towards me. I crouched down and tensed all my muscles and launched myself into the air. The buses crashed into each other and I landed on top of the crashed buses. I then jumped off and shot a web. I swung around Adam, who made several things out of thin air, and they flew at me. I spun around dodging one. I ran over a bus that came flying at me. I jumped off the bus and shot a web at Adam. He caught it, and then I charged the web with my venom strike. The bioelectricity travelled down the web and hit Adam, and he was suddenly electrocuted. He dropped to one knee. I shot another web and pulled myself to him. He was pulled up. As I came flying at him, I threw a punch, smacking the man in the chin. Then I charged a venom punch and struck Adam again, sending him flying back into the cathedral. I moved with great speed and agility. I turned invisible and watched as Adam stood up and screamed at the top of his lungs. I landed behind him and kneed Adam in the back as he dropped to the floor. I placed both my hands on top of the crown and gripped onto it tightly. I then sent several thousand volts into the crown, and with one quick yank, I pulled the crown off of Adam's head. He dropped to all fours. The reality stone stopped glowing. Then everything around us dematerialized. The cathedral eroded away, like how paper burns into embers. The whole city followed suit. With 30 seconds, I was standing on a red-hot, barren wasteland of a planet. I looked around, and not one single person, animal, plant was in sight. I turned to Adam, who knelt there crying. Why? Why did you ruin it? Adam sobbed. The stone. It does things to people, I stated. I have been through enough. Adam choked. Your world. What happened here? I asked in shock. and the two universes collided. The new universe could not find balance, and everything died. Almost everyone died. The universe went to hell. Hell. Even hell went to hell. Adam explained. I knelt down to his level. Dude, I can help you. We can make it so you can control the reality stone. I know what it's like when you lose the people you love, I noted. The stone, it survived. It's mine, Adam said with fear. Come with me, and I could use someone with you who can, use the reality stone, I told him. But I attacked you. Even after all this, you'd let me work with you? Adam asked. Everyone deserves a second chance, right? I said. I stood up and offered my hand, and he took it, and I helped him up. Then Adam managed a slight smile. There you go, see? Not too bad, I nodded. It is nice to have a conversation with a person I did not create. Adam chuckled. Suddenly, my spider sense started ringing again. I looked off in the horizon, and once again I could see a yellow surge of energy swallow everything up. Oh, no, come on, man, I called out. A blur of yellow and red sped past me. It stopped suddenly and the reverse flash stood before me.
Thanks for making things so easy for me.
He chuckled, then he sped off before I could react. I looked at Adam, who stood there in shock, not knowing what was happening. I loaded another universal cartridge into my web shooter quickly and shot a web, which opened a portal. I grabbed Adam and pulled him through. As I jumped through the portal, we both landed in the car park. Adam stood there and looked around all confused. My universe! What the hell happened? He asked. I'll explain. I sighed. I removed my mask and took a deep breath. I stood there annoyed that I allowed the reverse flash to get away from me once again. And there you have it, guys. Another installment to the Miles Morales storyline. Again, I am working with a character that already exists. This is very new to me, and especially in the first person perspective. This is foreign territory. I usually work with OCs, but anyway, it is nice to play around with a character I'm a huge fan of. I hope you guys enjoyed this storyline. Make sure that you do check out the rest of the Tiger Tales Marvel and DC fanfiction universe, both on Tiger Tales and Tiger Tales The Lost Stories. Both playlists contain lots of stories and they all take place in the same universe at one point in time. Make sure that you check out Tiger Tales Game Over, and Tiger Tales The Mysterious Origins, the other Tiger Tale channels, where you'll find more stories written and read to you by me. Thank you everybody, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you real soon.